Can we please stop reducing complicated issues to, you're pro-war and I'm anti-war? Benjamin wants war, but doesn't want to go fight. So yesterday, President Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin met in Alaska for a summit focused on outlining a framework for ending the war between Russia and Ukraine. Trump received a lot of backlash for his willingness to meet with Putin, but he came out of their conversation touting its success and foretelling of a permanent peace to come. However, the rumored deal Putin offered was not to end the war. According to various reports, Putin merely offered to freeze Russia's frontline advance into Ukraine in exchange for Ukraine withdrawing its forces from Donetsk. In other words, Russian forces will pause their advance in Zaporizhia, sorry for the mispronunciation, and Kherson, if Ukraine pulls out of Donetsk, in eastern Ukraine, the majority of which Russia already controls. Now, for context, Russia has controlled both Donetsk and Luhansk, which primarily composed the region known as the Donbass, since it invaded in 2014. Then, in 2022, Putin signed a decree recognizing the Donetsk People's Republic, or DPR, and the Luhansk People's Republic, or LPR, as independent territories, thus stripping Ukraine's sovereignty over them. But the Donbass is still recognized as Ukrainian territory by most nations and international organizations because seizing territory by force is not permitted by international law. However, a lot of people want Ukraine to accept Putin's offer because, as they see it, this war is a losing effort for Ukraine, and continuing it will only result in more death and destruction. And that's a legitimate point of view, by the way. But to pretend there's a clear right and wrong answer here is pure arrogance. To act as if those who are against Ukraine accepting Putin's offer are pro-war and those who are for it are anti-war is a simplistic and unproductive framing of the dynamic at play. If the Ukrainians withdraw from Donetsk, that's the last they will see of it. It will become Russia. If you think Ukraine should accept the deal and do whatever it can to attain peace in the short term, fine. Maybe it's worth it to stop the bloodshed, at least temporarily. But if you also think that there's absolutely no risk to legitimizing Russian aggression by granting them territorial concessions, that there's no scenario in which doing so results in a worse outcome and more violence down the line, then I'm sorry. Again, that's pure arrogance. What do you know about war? Nothing. But I'm very afraid that if Putin gets away with seizing territory by force, that will embolden him and other aggressor states around the world to become more hostile and violent, thus resulting in more war, death, and destruction over the long term.